This is the example for unattended automation where it doesn't require any human interaction. But I want to make it as an attended robot where it does require a human interaction. To make that, I would need to ask the user what type of report do you want today. For now, we have downloaded gainers, but what if user wants losers? So we have to give that option to the user. We can store that. I have to create another variable which says user input. It has a string variable. Let's check if the URL is same for losers, where you can see this https finance.yahoo.com is static, but this word will be dynamic, where if you type losers, it will show you the top losers for today. We can use the static URL and concatenate it with the user input and do the same thing and download the gainers and losers and create two separate files. So to do that, I would like to ask the user what would be the report for today. So I'm dragging and dropping an input dialog. It would ask you for what report do you want me to download today. So I'll just give this dialog box as stocks, and I have a question. Then I run this workflow. There's a dialog box appears on the user screen, and if a user types in gainers, it would take the gainers as input. If it's losers, it will take a losers as input. But to take that input, we have to store that value in somewhere in the output. So we have to assign this same variable user input over here. This user input is our output for the bot. To dynamically change the URL, we have to concatenate it by taking out the gainers from it, and I'm just concatenating it with a user input. If you type just user, it appears over here and you can just select it and it would concatenate the whole URL. Now it has opened the browser, then maximize the window, but this has a selectors. So a selector is a HTML tags for the website where a robot uses these selectors and identifies the elements over a website. So when we did the first demo, we have only the gainers. So it wouldn't recognize the page which has losers because this part has a losers in it. So we have to find a way to overcome this. So I'm just giving a asterisk over here, which means even if it's losers, gainers, or any kind of a report, just fetch it for the user and download it. Now, if I validate it, yeah, now it has validated that it has find the corresponding element. Now, if you want to check if it's right, then you can just highlight it. Now you can see a borderline where it is highlighting the whole window. Now just click on OK. And also you want your report to be separate, then you can just leave the extension just as is, and you can give a plus, which is a concatenate symbol. Then you can type in a user input, which is our variable. I'm closing the website. It should ask for the losers or gainers, so I'll just run the file. Before doing this, I'll just delete the old data. I'm going to delete the old data which we have done for the first demo. Now I'm going to run it. It is asking for what report would you want to download. I can just say it as a gainers. Now it has opened the gainers website. And now it has downloaded the gainers from the Yahoo website and put it in an Excel sheet. Now I want losers, so I can just read on the file. I'll just close this. Even if it's open, it should work, but I'm just making sure. Now I would say losers. Now it has opened the losers. And if you go into the loser, you can find the Excel sheet where it has all the losers. So you can cross verify that it has the same NW, AU, NAV are the losers for today. And you can find the same thing over here. And these are the gainers. So NIO, TBV, PF, CXO are the gainers, and you can check them over here. NIO, CXO, yeah. So this is how easy we can develop an automation flow with attended automation and attended automation. And to expand this use case, we can also drag and drop various activities. Like if you want all of this data into a PDF, you can do that because it already has a PDF activities and it has a computer vision. It can also type whatever the fields available in the website. Let's say if you have a large set of fields in a web page, like a government website where you have to do some filings, then it can also type in that fields and give you the summary of whatever it has typed in an email. And you can just drag and drop these email activities by just typing email over here, and you can save that mail message. You can get the mail, you can delete the mail, and whatever you can. And also you can do the same with Excel activities. Now if you look at the Excel activities, it can close the workbook, it can get the cell color, it can get the range, it can get the columns, it can do any kind of math inside the Excel sheet. And also one of the specific, like a unique feature it has, it can read images with third-party integrators, and also the IBM Watson and the Microsoft Text Analysis and Google Vision API. You can just drag and drop all of these activities and give the connection strings so that it would connect with the cloud or any application, and it would get the text for you, and it can manipulate it for you, and it can report it for you. And also we can add some delays if you are dealing with any legacy applications which are quite slow. Sometimes bot would take some time to wait for the specific element to load. Then we can give the static delays, or else we can just set to dynamic, where bot waits for a specific element and vanishes. So these are the activities where it can find the image, it can wait until an image vanishes, or it can wait for an attribute, any HTML specific attribute, or it can wait for a queue item. These are a different set of activities, like widely used activities. And you can also use an API request, where you can build an API to API call, where you can get the data, post the data, or delete the data. You can do various activities with APIs. That is it with the building the automation.